Another new senator began his legislative career as a Senate page just 5 short years ago. Joining me now in the studio is Senator-Elect Andrew Mathews of R-Milaca. Welcome.
Thank you, Shannon.
So 5 years ago you were a Senate page, 4 years ago you were a House page. What led you to do that kind of work?
It started back even earlier in 2005. My representative, Sandra Erickson, invited me to the high school page program. And so I applied for that and was accepted that year. And that was a tremendous experience of getting the hands-on picture of how the legislative process works. So several years later, I had an interest in being there, helping the local officials that are there to be effective in their jobs. So I applied and was hired to be a committee page first in the Senate in 2011.
And what did you gain from that experience?
It gave me a really good perspective of the daily in and out, the daily function that senators do, that not everything is a glorious looking charge the hill type of situation, but there's a lot of daily grind of meetings, of people to speak with, things that happen behind closed doors and away from the public's eye that is vitally important.
Did you ever imagine that 5 years after that Senate page experience, you would yourself become a senator?
I did not. I have been politically active before. I have helped on a lot of campaigns. I thought maybe someday it would be something I'd take an interest in, but was not expecting an open door this early. And when Senator Dave Brown, my predecessor, decided to retire, it surprised me at the first because Senator Brown is a good friend of mine. I was a strong supporter of his. So I, after a short time, sat my family down and said, I think we should think about this and pray about this as to whether or not I should move forward with a run. And every single one of my family members was fully supportive and said they would help 100% on board if we launched a campaign. So we made the decision to do that, and
here you are.
Here I am. I was elected.
So you have a long list of community and civic involvement: pastor, youth teacher, mentor, farmer, family, small business, legislative aide, local activist. What are you most passionate about?
I am passionate about helping people, about helping people's lives, bettering people's lives. That was my goal through my pastorate, through the youth programs I would teach at. In my current role today, in the job functions that I do today as a veterans caseworker, has been to help solve problems in whether I can help in a small way or whether I contribute in a large way. To be one to care for people, to love people, to help solve problems to the best of my abilities, and to be a support for them.
So in the Mille Lacs County Times, you said, quote, "I'm running because the current majority in the Senate isn't listening to the people of Minnesota anymore." There's been much written about the rural-urban divide. What is your view of Minnesota?
So the specific project is there were road projects in Senate District 15 that the community had been asking for that were needed, safety improvements and upgrades because of growing developments. And so last year we had finally gotten some of those projects in the final transportation bonding bill, which died on the last day of session. So I told the people all through the campaign trail we need to not let those necessary projects just die in that fashion, that I was going to pick that back up. I didn't know back then whether there would be a special session to correct or pass that bill or not, and said that I would take those issues and keep representing this district and bring those projects back up again in order to see them all the way through.
So that must have been one thing that you heard about on the campaign trail. What else did you hear about?
Another big issue is the Sherco power plant in the south end of my district in Becker. Energy is of great importance to the people. They want to see affordable energy. Many of them are employed at that power plant, and there are changes that are going on there right now. So that was a very big issue that was in a lot of people's minds, as well as the health insurance prices. And I think on a bipartisan basis, we're looking for solutions to lower costs for people to afford their health insurance.
You had the opportunity as a page to see how government works up close. Now that you're a senator, are there things that you'd like to see be done differently?
I don't know if there's a specific thing that I would point to, other than the Senate is made up of the people that represent it. And I am greatly privileged and humbled to now be a part of it. And so it's a part of the process, and the process has stood in place long before I was here, will continue long after I am gone. And I'm just excited about this opportunity to play a role in it at this point.
Senator-Elect Mathews, we're going to stop there today, but I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you, Shannon.